3 right there. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Stop. Let him finish.
Okay.
Woof.
You know what I think one of us should do?
What's that?
What?
Get our phlebotomy license.
Nope.
So, well, it won't be Scotty. So that the next time somebody has to have their blood drawn in this room, one of us can just do it and we don't have to wait until 10, 11, noon.
I volunteer.
Okay,
I'll
fine.
do it.
Fine.
I would love to get a new license at something. Amazing.
You have to get that rubber band and put it around your arm.
I know how to find the vein. I know. Because my sister, when she was doing all of her rounds with med school and all that kind of stuff, she would test me for which veins were.
Scary.
Scary, let me see your arm.
I got a vein right here.
He said he had a juicy one.
I got a juicy one. That one there.
Juicy isn't as important as spongy. Let's stop making a fist. Oh yeah, that would be a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
That's the one that. That's the go-to.
To me now. Hang on.
So they always go to this specific vein. They're like, ooh, that's a nice one.
Mine too. Look, see.
Hang on.
Right there, right?
Yep.
Come around.
Okay.
You think we're going to be able to keep vials of blood around without anything happening to them?
Let's see.
Where?
Oh, you're not supposed to do wrists really, but that one's spongy.
How do you know this?
Oh, that one's spongy.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, you can feel it. You can feel it.
Oh, damn.
Guys, I'm
I
sweating.
know this is the one they always use.
I'm sweating.
Yeah.
I'm turning you guys off.
So when I do a lot of stuff with Lincoln Tech, right?
Yeah.
So I was one day I was there and they were like, oh, they're all practicing taking blood. So this one girl was like, I've never done it before. And they were like, would you mind being her first? And so I actually was this girl's first.
Oh, God. I would be like, absolutely.
But wait,
the fuck not.
She was awesome because it was her first time. So she was trying to be so careful. I didn't even feel it.
Oh, wow.
She was amazing.
Okay.
I
great.
couldn't believe it. I feel like sometimes when they've done it for so long, they just like take your wrist, flap you on the thing.
So I have a vasovagal reaction.
Vasovagal.
Vasovagal reaction.
Yes.
Bagel. What is it?
Bagel.
Vasovagal.
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 Vasovagal reaction, which is basically a physical reaction to the taking of the blood. It's not in my head. It's not It's not queasy from seeing blood. I don't care. But once they take it, all of a sudden my heart rate slows down a lot. And I start seeing like white, the white noise
Yep.
in my eye. Like
You die a little?
Oh, really?
yeah, I die a little.
God.
And I kind of lose my breath a little bit, and I want to pass
Can you
out.
please record
So-
yourself getting your blood drawn?
Oh, yeah.
Every time I get my blood drawn, I tell them about this, and they go, "Oh, vasovagal." So they have a giant.
Sounds like a bagel. Give me
They
a
have
bagel.
a giant cup of water there, and sure enough, within maybe 2 minutes after the blood is drawn, it starts coming over me. I lay down, big cup of gulps of water, and I just relax, and I stare, and I take deep breaths, and it has
Wow.
to pass for 5
Wow.
minutes before I can get up.
Vasovagal, man.
Wow.
That's vasovagal.
Bagel.
But wait a second.
That's
Back to
your
the
bagel.
phlebotomist thing and the
Yeah,
license.
I don't know how it works.
Don't you need to like do more than that and go to like med school or
No.
To be a phlebotomist?
a phlebotomist?
I don't think you need to go to med school just to draw blood.
So it's like
I'm positive you don't
becoming
have
a notary public. It's the same thing.
It's a very
probably
look it up.
slightly
It's a very
different than that.
simple course. You could probably become one in a week. Probably.
Really?
It's not that involved.
Oh.
It's
Do they
not that
pay?
involved.
Okay. Scary.
I don't think
Do they
as much
pay?
as like nurses or things like that. I don't think it's a very involved course. So, you can get one of those licenses pretty quick. I know we should. Scotty B, what would you feel about doing that?
Listen, I don't
Please.
want any part of this. I'm getting queasy now.
$1,000 tuition, and you can get your training.
No. Like anytime I go on a quest, I'm like, listen, I'm a giant baby.
Oh, I love Quest.
I'm probably gonna pass out, and they're like, okay, one of these, But they're always usually pretty. As long as I don't look, I'm okay.
Yeah.
And a really good one, you won't even feel it.
Yeah.
They're quick on their hands, though, too, because I had mine done on Friday, and it was just like 4 vials in a matter of like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
You get the vials,
Yeah.
they pass them back and forth. Doesn't your sister do like?
She moonlights and she goes and does insurance exams for people on the weekends.
Ah.
Yeah, and she gets their blood and she brings it home and
that's
spins
awesome.
it.
See, I'm
She does all
starting
kinds of
again.
stuff.
I got again. I can't. I'm getting fidgety.
You see the white light?
So
go
it is
go to
in
the
your
white
head.
light. Go to
It
the
is
white
in your
light.
head.
It's not in my head. No,
How
not
could-
as bad
nothing's
as,
happening to you right
not
now.
as bad as Scotty on this. But you're talking about it and like the blood and the vials and the switching in the vials.
Bagels.
And I'm starting to get a little.
The only time I've ever had a vasovagal response, and Scotty's gonna pass out. Do you remember this skin cancer scar here?
Yeah.
So they use what's called a running stitch. So they use the same thread all the way through the whole incision.
Yeah.
So when they went to take the stitches out, or the stitch rather, instead of like trimming it and pulling it through the holes, she just kept pulling it like it was a shoelace.
Yeah.
And so towards the end, she's pulling this
Oh my
entire
gosh.
string
Okay.
through me, and I'm like,
Okay.
How many listeners have we lost?
Daniel,
We've
get
lost
your water
one.
ready.
I know,
Get your
I'm
water
waking
ready
up
for
on the
Skeery.
floor.
Get water ready for Skeery.
yeah, waking up on the floor, and they're handing me apple juice, and I'm
We've
like,
definitely
gosh.
lost listeners and viewers on
Oh
this
my gosh.
podcast
I
episode.
know.
But it's very
Guaranteed.
dangerous for phlebotomists because I'm going to shout out my girls at the Quest Diagnostics in Hackensack, New Jersey,
where I'm
because
going.
that's where I go all the time. They're the best. I walked in the other day because of my thyroid stuff, I have to get blood taken all the time, like, every couple of months. I walk in the other day and I hear some kid screaming his head off from behind the door. And I'm thinking, boy, that will make anybody sitting in the waiting room go, oh, I'm gone.
I'm
and
out.
look at, right?
Yep.
I open the door afterwards and the poor women are like, he just kicked us.
Yeah.
He just smacked me. He just whatever. They were so angry. And, there was nothing they could do. They had to try and get the blood. They were like, we didn't know. So they go through a lot, especially with kids.
yeah.
Because the kids are scared and
Or
they don't know what to
The
expect,
flip side of it. Okay, so you're Gandhi, you're 5'1",
Yes.
115 pounds.
Oh my God, that's so generous. Yeah.
And
Shut up.
you
What?
have a 250-pound guy
Yeah.
all of a sudden just go and just pass out and fall. Like, what do you do?
I would
how do you
scream
even
for
manage?
someone, help! 911!
There was a time that I couldn't finish. I'm like, you gotta stop. And I made them take it out, and they didn't get everything they needed. I couldn't
Oh,
get all
that's
the
such
tests
a
done.
waste.
What do you
They
do?
already got you.
It hurt. It hurt.
Do you close your eyes or what do you do?
Yeah, I close my eyes and I shake and I just look the other way. But it was hurting. And I'm like, you got to stop. I can't do it anymore. And I would have ripped it out if they didn't. And I had to leave. I couldn't do it.
Do they have to, would they have to restrain you? You ever see somebody in the hospital that they're restrained
Yeah.
and tied?
Yeah.
Can that
The
happen
worst.
to you?
It's no, because I need to get up sometime. I can't.
Well,
But I have to sit there like 5 or 10 minutes when they're done. They need the room, but I'm like, I got to sit and drink water.
Oh
Just chill
my
out.
gosh.
Room of princesses.
Don't you don't bring a snack with you? I always bring a snack
I didn't know you could.
to have it right
like-
after. Well, right after they take your blood, you eat like a
There's a
granola
bagel
bar.
place next door. I go get a bagel.
Okay, but if
Danielle
you're
was hospitalized.
Yeah.
I was hospitalized. You were hospitalized. They
Yeah.
come and take your blood like every
Yeah.
12 hours.
Oh,
I
if you
mean,
would have seen my arms at the end of it, I was actually very thankful that I got a PICC line, which is a horrible, awful process.
Yeah.
But they could just end up pulling
Yeah,
the blood
Skeery.
from the PICC line
What's up?
instead of zapping, like jabbing me
Yeah.
every time. That was great.
Yeah.
Just have the
IVs
cup of
are-
water ready.
IVs are the worst. I can't because that thing is always in you.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah?
oh.
When I had the second stroke, I was in the hospital for, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
And so they have to always have 2 IV sites in case one fails. So the one they had like almost on my elbow, and it kept rubbing against the bone.
Stop.
And so the site became infected.
Sepsis?
And then,
Sepsis?
Like, it wasn't sepsis, but like
Was
they
it
call
oozing? Was it oozing?
It actually oozed.
Come on,
But
man.
then you
Words.
could start seeing every blood vessel
Yes.
become infected, and it looked like a zombie was
Oh.
on my arm.
Like a Marvel character.
God.
And it really, really, really hurt.
Great.
And yeah.
You know, there's sometimes when I'm driving home and I'm listening to whatever station I'm listening to, and they were in a commercial, and I almost pass out because the guy goes, "Do you have bone on bone in your knee?" And I'm like, "Oh!" And I just think about it. I'm like, I start getting queasy in my car.
Well, let me tell you this. Do you know what a PICC line is?
You talked about it, and I don't want to hear
We
it.
don't have to
Okay.
describe it. People
So,
can Google
Nate,
this.
you know what a
I
PICC
know
line
what a
is,
PICC
right?
line
It's
is.
they put a little tube basically from your arm, a vein in your arm. They snake it up through all the way to your heart.
Come on now.
Yeah.
They do it while you're wide awake.
Yep.
So that you have this thing, by the way, life-saving. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You have to be really, really careful with them because they can get infected. But when they do it without really any
Yeah.
anesthesia, they just put it in so you can feel the whole thing like crawling through your body. When they pull it out, they literally just yank that.
Yep.
It was like, whoop,
Yep.
and you feel it again. I was like,
Yep.
whoa, this is crazy.
Yep.
Oh.
I think the only thing possibly worse than that, so when I had the open heart surgery,
Okay, goodbye.
they have tubes
He's done.
in your chest cavity draining the fluid,
La,
right?
la, la,
And there's
la,
these 3
la,
lines.
la, la, la,
Oh my gosh.
Let him finish it.
Wow.
Stop. Let him finish.
So it's like 2 or 3 days after, and the physician's assistant comes and says, "Okay, I'm going to remove the tubes that are
Oh,
draining your
yeah.
chest."
Yeah.
She goes, "On the count of 3, I want you to take a deep breath."
Yeah.
1, 2, and all of a sudden she pulls out. I swear to God, the tubes were this long
And
going
it
into my
feels
chest.
weird, right? When
cavity.
they pull them out, it feels so weird when they pull that stuff out.
From here up into my chest. I'm like, that was inside of me.
Yeah.
3 of them that long.
Is he done
Did
yet?
you keep it?
No, not yet.
Did you
They
keep
did
it?
not let me
Dude,
keep it.
I kept
Scotty-
my pick line.
You did?
I made a Christmas ornament out of
I hear
it.
you guys. I've turned you off.
Nate,
Scotty turned us off in the other room. He's
Nate,
so done.
what's worse, that or the catheter?
That by far that. The catheter I'll take any
Tell
day
me
of
when
the
I can
week.
come back.
You can.
You
Can I come
can't.
back?
Okay, we're done.
Yeah.
We're talking about poop now.
I think what's funny about the whole thing is that Skeery's like, it's not in my head. It's only physical. Yet
He's
nothing
keeping it in his
physical
head.
has
He's keeping it
happened to
in
him,
his head by covering his ears.
and
Are
he's
you done?
screaming.
No, because you guys have to go the extra mile. You guys,
This is the extra mile?
No, you guys have to start talking.
You
in
have
depth and
standards
details.
all of a sudden?
No, you have to go in depth. We don't need. People have computers in their pockets. If they want to know these things, they can Google them.
Here's the thing that I will say, which is kind of weird, because like when my daughter was bleeding,
Yeah.
I was able to help her.
Thank God.
You know, no, I was. It's
Flight
I don't
or
know-
fight.
I don't know what kind of mental thing it is, but I guess when it's something that I have to do, I can do it.
Good.
Does that make sense?
Yes, good. That's very good.
Would you be able to do it for any of us in here if we're bleeding?
I don't know. Probably. I guess probably.
I think in an emergency situation, if it was like, oh my God, I need to put some type of compression on
Yeah,
this
I could do
because
the
this
tourniquet.
person's gonna die.
I could do
think
the
you would
tourniquet thing. I think I could.
Yeah, I think you could do it.
Yeah.
I don't know about Skeery, because clearly
Skeery.
it's all in his head.
Yeah, you and that Vasovagal.
Sounds
The
delicious.
Vasovagal's are the part of it. But
Bagel places should make Vasil bagels, and they should be red. It'd be awesome.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Your $1 million idea here on the podcast.
You'll have
Take that
that,
idea to
though.
hospitals and market
Gotta.
it.
are we done?
Your Vasovagal.
I've never been so anxious to end the podcast.
Okay, well, we're done. Well, will you please film yourself today?
Are you
Yeah,
going today?
I'm going today. I'm right
Oh,
after the
shit.
show.
Please
didn't know
film
that.
yourself. I will pay you.
You're gonna be
cash
fine.
Cash money. All right, are we done?
All right.
Yeah.
Done. Bye.
Bye.